Okay.
Yeah. Because I want everyone to know how amazing you are. So,
Thank you.
yes. Alethea Felton is a national board certified public school educator, a former caterer, a holistic health and wellness coach, a life coach, and an actress who resides in Washington, D.C., but grew up in Chesapeake, Southern Virginia, has a love for water, similar to me. I love water too. And her tough medical and health journey from birth has built her into the transformative coach that she is today. Danny knows how amazing you are. Well, you still had to hear me read the bio because it's just so good.
Thank you.
I'm so excited, friend. Oh man, this is awesome. So, Alethea, what else do you want to tell us beyond the bio about yourself? Because my followers are new to learning about you. So go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so everything that you pretty much said, I have a passion for life. I love people. A random fact about me, I love mermaids because I grew up by the ocean. So all things mermaids, I love. But I really enjoy health and wellness and fitness. And I really like to see people maximize their full potential and to really achieve any and everything that they set out to do. So that's what I'm very passionate about. So that's a little bit about me, and you'll learn more as the stream goes on.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for that. My daughter loves mermaids too. You're all similar. And all right, so my first question is, what is a certified holistic health and life coach? Because some people I think are confused about what that is. So go ahead and tell us.
So they're two separate things, but yet they go hand in hand. A certified holistic health coach. Let me preface by saying I'm not a nutritionist or dietitian or anything like that, but a holistic health coach looks at the whole person. We believe that health is mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. It encompasses a number of areas, so to speak, on the circle of life. So the circle of life can include everything from finances to relationships to social life. We look to see where there is some type of imbalance. And what we do is we look at the whole person in order to get to our true health and nature. And I'll go more into this later with our topic of mental and physical connection. But in terms of the holistic health realm, is that I don't care how much a person works out, I don't care how much a person eats healthy, if emotionally and mentally and spiritually things are not aligned, then it can throw your entire health off. In conjunction, I got my life coach training because the life coach aspect correlates with my actual coaching skills in order to how to be that guide, that mentor, that cheerleader. And so a combination of the skills for both holistic and life coaching go hand in hand with what I do.
Awesome. That was a great explanation. I love it. So again, it's like a root cause thing. You're like getting to all the depth of the person and reaching down to find out. It's not just that you don't eat healthy. It's not just that you don't exercise. It might be there's a spiritual thing misaligned or something is misaligned, and that's you go in and help us search that out.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So my next question is, how has your physical health improved in the past few years, and what sparked the change? How have you really healed from that? That's probably a pretty loaded question, but go ahead.
It is. So let me just kind of give the brief overall view, especially for people who are watching this and don't really know. I was born with a compromised immune system. Nothing that my parents did wrong, anything like that. That's just how I was created. So I was born with a compromised liver that had me very sick as a child, very, very sick as a child. And I still thrived despite being sick. So when I was older, I was diagnosed with what's called autoimmune hepatitis type 1. It's basically where your liver fights itself. And being born jaundiced, bad liver, My mom and dad took me to numerous doctors. They could not figure out what was wrong. I had stunted growth for a long time, and I'm tall now,
Yes.
but I had stunted growth. Yeah, I'm tall, but I had stunted growth for a long time. And I was just born with some genetic link that just threw my entire immune system off. So I developed asthma, I had liver problems, and then later in life, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And Crohn's is a gastrointestinal disorder that affects everything from the mouth to the rectum. And I have had since I was in my 20s, I've had to get annual colonoscopies. And Crohn's actually runs on my mom's side with men in her family. And so for me to have gotten it, that was very interesting. So what happened over the course of many years is that I had some very close brushes with death. And I don't say that to exaggerate, but I've been critical. There was a time almost 10 years ago where I was so sick, where I was almost in hospice, and miraculously, yeah, like I was planning my actual funeral. That's how much hope was lost. And these conditions were not caused by me, but I said, you know what? If God has given me strength, and that's who I view as the one who has helped me through all this, God, and of course, doing practical steps. None of what I was born with is caused by what I eat. However, what I can do is learn my body. And so that's what I started to strategically do, was learn what works for me and what does not. And so that's when I started to transform my physical health. But first, I had to transform how I thought about health and wellness, how I thought about eating, how my spiritual life was. So my faith, how I leaned and trusted in a being higher than myself to catapult me to where I am. And when I work with clients, when I talk with people, they are clear that I follow Jesus Christ. However, I have helped people who are atheists. I've helped people who are Christians. I've helped all kinds of people. It doesn't matter what you practice, because it goes back to the intuitive self, who we are as beings. We are spiritual beings living a physical experience. And so my transformation of the physical started when I started to transform my mind, when I started to think about my thoughts. And my doctors figured out that stress, bad stress, was a huge trigger of my flare-ups and my hospitalizations. I have lost some very close people in the past 4 years, and their deaths or exits from my life catapulted me into some really terrible flare-ups based off of stress that I did not know I had. So I started to take that and I started to get therapy. I started to get help for my personal ingrained trauma that I had not healed. And that then launched my physical transformation. And it's a lifestyle. I make people know clearly my workouts, my eating habits, my meditations and prayers, things I do are not just a diet or a temporary fix. They are a lifestyle, because I choose to walk in wholeness and I choose to walk in the true value of who I am. So that was a loaded answer, but I needed to kind of explain where it started from the start.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
just telling us, I think a lot of people who want to work with a coach or want to transform physically, they don't realize that it's the mental work and mindset work that you were talking about that they haven't done. So why am I still hitting a wall it's probably because you haven't worked on that spiritual self, that intuitive self, all the practice that you're talking about.
Yes.
Wow, oh my gosh, I'm going to make sure that when we get off this, I teach you how to make sure it's shared and saved, because more than we're on now need to hear your message. Girl, you are so powerful. Oh,
thank you. Oh, glory to God, really.
That's true. It is right. It's the faith too, the faith part. All right, so I love that you kind of did this, because my next question was to describe sort of the connection between physical and mental health. You did explain it, but is there any other parts you want to like sort of make clearer to us? Like what's really?
I want to make it clear to everybody that let's not get so caught up on the physical without looking at the internal self. So what I mean is, there are a lot of people who lift. I am a lifter. I can't wait to get back into the gym and lift. It's going to be very, very soon. But I lift, and you knew me personally when I was always in the gym lifting heavy. And so, yeah, heavy training for competitions and stuff. Then I would end up getting sick and it didn't happen. But anyway, my whole point is this. I don't care how much a person works out in the gym. You can see a person and they look fit and trim externally, but are still unhealthy.
Yes.
I am by no means saying that, you know, they aren't healthy to an extent. But what I am saying is that only we know ourselves. We only know our thoughts and our traumas and our pains. No one is ever perfect. Even me, with all of the help I've gotten, I still have things that I work on constantly. But the mind physical connection is, once we start examining ourselves and once we tap into those uncomfortable places that we all have, and you really could have had a great life overall, but there's still there's some area of ourselves that affects us. And the physical connection could just be, you might have a lack of sleep from it. You might be overly anxious or extremely hyper off of it. You may have something within you that's causing you to work out excessively, like you're in the gym 2 and 3 and 4 hours a day, because there is something internally that is not healed, and we're brushing over it and kind of burying it, but not really getting to the root. Right. So I encourage, even with me, I am not a licensed therapist, but when I do meet with people, I do assess, okay, is a holistic health coach you need, or maybe do you need a professional therapist first? Right. And you can still have one and work with a coach. But there are some things that, as much as you pray and have faith, there are some things that we just need to heal. And I am Black as well as Hispanic, as you know, and there is a stigma in, and we're starting to break that shell now, but there's a stigma with it. It doesn't mean you're quote unquote cray cray. It really doesn't mean that. It just means that we need to heal what's inside of us. And there's a quote that says that if you do not heal, you will bleed on people who have not cut you. So that means that once we heal the traumas inside, then our physical aspects can change. You can sleep better. You will have energy to work out more. You'll have more balance. And that's what the mind physical connection is. What's not right inside is going to manifest somehow in our physical world.
100%. You're resonating with me so much, and all of the followers that are on, everyone's saying, great point, amen, faith in yourself, faith in a higher power. Yes, Jorge said, fight the stigma. You know, that's what I'm all about, fighting the stigma around mental health awareness. So those points are so important, especially the communities, how certain communities don't get the mental health support they need. Everything you said, I agree. Amen to everything. And just the way you're digging into the mental physical connection, I think it's easy to stay superficial and you're like, I'm sorry, you got to go deep if you really want to get better. So thank you, Alethea. Oh my gosh, I love everything you're saying.
Also, I wanted to just add something that I don't think I've ever told you, and I've known you a long time, but I'm also diagnosed with ADHD, the very platform you have.
Yes.
And growing up, it was just hyperactivity. So
Yes.
I was not diagnosed until I was an adult, but I've learned coping skills and ways to manage that. And so even when I was in the classroom as a teacher, I had such a great empathy for children who were diagnosed with that. And a lot of them are just brushed off, written off. And I had to explain to them, this is your superpower. And now there are ways you have to control it, because on a job, you just can't act a fool. But, but you have to tap whatever diagnosis a person gives you. That's just a portion of you. That's not who you are. Right. So I thank you for your platform as well, because it is real and it happens to a lot of people, and we just brush it off, but there's nothing wrong with us. It's just how we're wired.
100%. Yes. And I actually, when I was reading your blog bio again, I realized, I was like, I think Alethea is probably ADHD too, but I wait for somebody to tell me first. Yeah. Which is so, like you said, it's so empowering. It allows you to do like a lot hyper-focused work, and the way you're able to do a bunch of things really well. That's such a gift. So thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you, Jorge said, for your transparency, for telling us about who you are and all of the different pieces that make you who you are, and such an empowering person. So now we're going to get down to sort of we talked about the overall, like this great connection. So what are some of the more tactical tips and strategies? What are 2 or 3 things we can do or incorporate daily to really feel better mentally and physically? What are like some actual tangible things we can do?
So one thing that I propose for everybody, take moments throughout your day to simply breathe. We negate how important breathing is, especially if there's a time when life is overwhelming. Shift your mindset for a second. Take a space. It can be in your car. It can be, not to be vulgar, it can be in the bathroom, on the toilet when you're private. It can be in your bed, anywhere. Take a second to just breathe. Take a deep breath. You close your eyes. Deep breath in. Just breathe. And if you do that, say 3 to 5 times back to back, hold your breath for at least 5 seconds. Let it out, exhale. Breathing refreshes you. It helps bring oxygen to your brain. It calms you. It helps center you, and it focuses you. Breathing is one tangible tip you can do. Another tip, incorporate 10 to 15 minutes of activity. It can be simply as pacing back and forth, walking. It can be going up and down stairs, going outside, getting some fresh air, but walking down the street and back. 10 to 15 minutes of physical activity, no matter where you are in your health. I know people, this is true, people who are in wheelchairs who take 10 to 15 minutes a day simply doing arm stretches, but it's something physical. So it doesn't matter if you can walk or not. Right. The third thing that's a tangible thing we can do to simply improve our life, if you're not a big vegetable or fruit eater, start with 1 serving a day of a vegetable or fruit. something with colors, something that's not processed, something that is going to give nutrients to your body, something that's going to help you feel physically better, do that. And if you are a current fruit or vegetable eater, increase your portions of it, or try something new. Try a new vegetable or fruit that you may not have considered. And I know you said 2 or 3, one more for everybody. Drink water.
Yes.
Get water in, drink water, drink more water. Water is good. It helps you. It cleanses you. It purifies your system. Drink water. I won't get technical and say it has to be alkalized yet or purified. You know, some people just need to drink water. Drink a couple of glasses of water a day if you don't yet. So those are some practical tips you can use just to start your wellness journey.
I love those. And those are easy. I mean, I think you told us things that might take 20 minutes total of our day, maybe 25 minutes to do the breathing and the walking and the water. And I really like to pray over my water and tell my water what I want to do. I'm like, can you please clear out this or that? And I agree. The water is so powerful. And when I added prayer to water, I really started drinking more. So I love your tips, Alethea. Just, you're such a gem. All right. So the next question for me is, let's talk more about when you're working as a coach. Who is your ideal client and what results should they expect? And I'm going to get up and shut my door because my kids opened it, but hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry about that.
All right.
So again, who is your ideal client and what results can we expect?
My ideal client is anyone who feels stuck in a pattern. Now, I will preface and say I work right now with clients who are 18 and over. I do have former students who do follow me on Instagram and things like that in terms of students I've taught in recent years in the past. I'm not in the classroom anymore, but I do have a few who follow me. But once they are legal adults, they can seek me out. But clients who are 18 and over, I mainly work in terms of the demographics, typically people who are from about 30 to approximately 55 or more who reach out to me. It's actually men and women. I thought it would just be a lot of women. Men have contacted me about services or tips as well. And it is because people who are stuck and want to go to the next level of a certain realm in their life, whether it's with physical activity, whether it's about launching a dream, anything centered around wellness. Right. And in terms of the results they can see, this is not to sound arrogant, but it's simply up to that person. The results are based on the work you're willing to put in. But if you take the steps, if you take the practical plans in place, if we work together collaboratively, then the results you can see is that you will move from being stuck in that specific area to the realm that you wish to go. So that is the result. I know it sounds kind of general, but it's really catered to the actual client and to the actual person. And so that's what the results are, is that you can find that you've moved from this plateau to the area you are trying to get, but it is contingent on your own self-motivation. I coach, encourage, I give guidelines, practical steps, things like that. But ultimately, motivation is really intrinsic. So it's based on how much your mindset shifts and the work you're willing to put in order to make that happen for you.
Love that. Oh, that's awesome. So really it's an individual process and program, but you're able to go in wherever they're at and get them to the next level.
Yes. And I am now kind of working on certain things that can be more general and for the public, but in terms of the individualized coaching, that's what you would get if you worked with me. And I will just put this out there for the public as well. I told Nicole, but right now, I'm going to start reopening for clients very soon. Right now, I'm not accepting clients, but I am going to open it up again very, very soon. There have been other projects and things that I've been working on, and I didn't want to commit to something or to new clients if I had not had the time to commit. And so there are certain things changing where soon I will be opening up again for clients, but it does not mean you still cannot get services from me in a different form.
Great. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So then I want to know too,
Yeah.
my question then is, what are you currently working on? Because
Okay.
I heard some of this stuff you're working on, and I want everyone to know too.
I told you some things that I am working on, and I will share some, but I also believe in not telling it all, but
yes.
I will.
You keep your secret. You keep your secrets.
I won't tell it all. That's what grandmama told me. She said, don't tell it all. So, certain things are surprises, but one thing that I am working on is that I am setting up to do more cooking videos for people because I am in the process now, and I will share this publicly. I'm in process now of getting holistic health cooking certification.
Ooh.
So that is a certification in which I am being trained to educate people on which specific foods help certain conditions or help certain parts of the body. For example, one of the courses I'm taking is cooking for bone health, or cooking for heart health, cooking for immune health, certain foods, herbs, spices, ingredients that can help. And I'm going to start doing more cooking and launching a YouTube channel soon. That's in progress now. And there are some other things that are happening behind the scenes that will be announced soon. But in terms of my YouTube channel, that is slated to be launched within the next month. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Just in time for summer, we can get some healthy recipes. And
yes.
And Maddie,
I'm really excited.
Wow, that will help so many of us.
Oh, yes. And shout out to my sister, Dina, because she is going to be my videographer, kind of temporary until it gets bigger, but you have to start somewhere. So
yeah. That is amazing. Awesome. Davina said, yay, awesome sauce. Woo!
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, there are so many good things you're working on. I just love this interview. I've loved reconnecting with you here, Alethea. It was so awesome to work with you before, and just to be able to see what you're doing on your platform and share it is amazing. So we need to know, how do we learn more about you? How do we keep in contact with you? How do we get updates on what you're doing? How do we do that?
So I have a website that I would love for all of you to just come on. It has a blog right now. I update my blog every 1 to 2 weeks. And my website is www.aletheafelton.com. That is spelled ALETHEAFELTON.com. You can keep in touch with me there. There's also a contact page where you can put in all of your info, send me a message. I will get back to you with that. You can also follow me here on Instagram at Alethea Felton. And I have a Twitter account. I have to admit, I used to be the queen of Twitter, but it takes up so much of my time. So I really don't do a lot of Twitter anymore. I will get active on that again one day. And in terms of Facebook, I have a personal Facebook page that is Alethea Lily Felton is my Facebook page. And I'm going to be shifting that to have a more professional page, but if you request me on Facebook, I will more than likely accept you on Facebook, as long as it's not like a spam account, bot account, things like that. So you can contact me in those ways for right now. But other projects are coming, things are happening that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, well, thank you for showing and sharing and opening up about your journey with us. When we wrap up, just when we close this, just go ahead and make sure you say share video to IG, please, so we can make sure this stays. And you have to give it a title when you share it, just so you know. Otherwise, it won't let you share. So when we wrap up.
So what should I title it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can title it The Connection Between Physical and Mental Health.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for getting on, Sam. We're actually wrapping up, but go ahead and just share it. You can call it Connection Between Physical and Mental Health. I'm going to screen record it once you put it up so I can post it to my page too. And I can share that with you so you can post it on your website, your blog, whatever you need.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, but you're in charge of making sure when this ends that you push save to Instagram, share it, and just call it, Connection Between Physical and Mental Health. You are amazing, Alethea. There's a reason we are friends. I love to see your journey. I'm so proud of you. You're so inspiring. And thank you for doing this today.
Thank you. It was such an honor being here. And I'm so proud of you as well with everything you have done. I just want to end with this for people who don't know. Nicole was one of the first friends I made when I joined a new school system about a decade ago. I was already experienced, seasoned, but she and I served on a council, and she just gravitated to me, didn't ask any questions, just made herself available to me. And I consider her a friend, and we reconnected on social media. We had lost touch. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is Nicole. But the lasting influence she made on my life, I'm telling you, keep people like that. And so I want to thank you for just helping me all those years ago and just genuinely